going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Hopefully, you guys had a great work week and you have amazing weekend plans. Yeah, I really do. Hope you have great weekend plans and that you had a great week. Anyways, you want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. Let's watch some court. I've got one case tonight, just one. We've got a bench trial. We got the whole thing. We are in Thurston County, Washington, the wonderful state of Washington, where things just get weird sometimes. This is no exception. This one gets weird. We have a guy who's charged with theft. He he is he was charged with stealing from Harbor Freight. Sorry, Harbor Freight. There's only one of those around here. So yeah, Harbor Freight. And yeah, he's charged with putting a ratchet down his pants. That's what he's charged with. We're going to a bench trial. It's fun. It gets weird. Yeah, that's really all I'm gonna say. It's a fun bench trial that's gonna yeah, it's gonna seem tedious at times because the questions that are asked sometimes are just like seriously. And but there's some drama, there's some humor, there's a little bit of everything in this one, so it's good. I do want to shout out Lucy for letting me know this was going on. I was kind of going back and forth to this, wondering if I was going to play it, and she said it was good. So I decided to watch it, and it is good. It's good. So we're going to play it. So thank you, Lucy. All right. That being said, let's do it. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Um, okay, this is a case of
Oh, I am going to give you guys one warning. There's a lot of dead air in this that I cut out. And because I had to cut out, I don't know. I want to say probably it was probably 15 to 20 like little 30-second clips that were just dead. So there's going to be a lot of points in this clip that are just they seem to just jump really fast. So yeah, that's what happens. I didn't want to do fade out when it was just the prosecutor was taking 45 seconds to check her paperwork to ask a question, or the defense was. So yeah, now you know. Let's go.
City of Lacey versus Patrick Harlan. It's on for a bench trial. Waiver of jury trial has been filed. Cause number 580648480. Ms. Zeddy, did you have any sort of opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor, and just as a preliminary matter, I did prepare a verdict form if the court would like to see that.
Yeah, we can, let's
After the opening,
let's see what happens, yeah.
Okay. Actions can speak louder than words. And on July 31st of 2025, the defendant Patrick Harlan's actions and words both prove that he committed the crime of theft when he stuffed a ratchet down the front of his pants at Harbor Freight Tools in Lacey and eventually left the store without paying for it. The evidence that the court will hear this morning, you'll hear from manager for the Harbor Freight store, Brian Childers, who worked at the
Mimi's here. Well, she was. I got to shout out Mimi, OG member.
store located at 4520 on Lacey Boulevard Southeast. Mr. Childers will tell the court that back on July 31st of 2025, that morning he noticed a man acting unusual, and he will tell the court about what was unusual about that man's behavior and that man was the defendant, Patrick Harlan. Mr. Childers will tell you a little bit that he saw the defendant holding a ratchet, and that's not something that a client or a customer is normally supposed to have in their hands because those items are secured in two different places in the store and are locked up. And that when a customer wants to purchase one of those items, an employee will come over and unlock the items. But Mr. Childers will also tell you that one of the items was very uneasy for a person to unlock without a key. Mr. Childers then went back to the store's office to watch the individual, Mr. Harlan, more closely on the monitors in the back office. He will tell you that he saw that the defendant concealed the ratchet down the front of his pants when the employees were distracted by.
Yeah, Chuck Norris passed away. I saw that this afternoon. That was sad. Super sad news. I hope we don't retire the Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris jokes have been, I don't know. I don't want to say an important part of my humor over the last 20 years, but it's been a mainstay. I love Chuck Norris jokes. Um, didn't really know much about him besides the actor and watching his stuff. But yeah, it was sad. Sad to hear that.
Customers and no one was looking. Mr. Childers will tell you that he talked to some of the other employees through the earpiece in his ear, and then he called the Lacey Police Department and asked officers to respond because due to the shoplifting. Mr. Childers continued to watch the defendant when he went through checkout, paid for one item, but did not take out the ratchet and pay for it before he left the store. You also hear the testimony from the investigating case officer, Mr. Aaron Stevens. Officer Stevens was fairly new to the Lacey Police Department and was still on field training back in July of last summer. He detained the defendant as he exited the store, and you hear that Officer Stevens read the defendant his Miranda rights that the defendant said he understood and indicated he was willing to speak with the officer. Officer Stevens will tell you about the fact that he found a ratchet removed from the front of the defendant's waistbands and some of the statements that the defendant made about that. Now, Officer Stevens will also tell you that the defendant had a bag on him, and in the bag, the officers located an air pressure gauge that the defendant said that he'd gotten the day before from the store. Officer Stevens tried to investigate if the air pressure gauge had been stolen that day or not, but ultimately couldn't determine, so that item was placed into safekeeping along with some knives that were on the defendant's person. Officer Stevens then returned the ratchet to Mr. Childers, the store manager at that time, and Mr. Childers scanned the receipt and the ratchet was valued at $44.99. Officer Stevens also reviewed the video footage that I expect the court will see this morning of the defendant putting the ratchet down the front of his pants. The evidence that the court will hear this morning, based on the actions of the defendant, concealing the ratchet in his waistband, leaving the store without paying for it, and also his words that he admitted to taking the ratchet and that he intended to use it for a job, the city will have proven to the court beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant committed the crime of theft, and we ask you to find him guilty.
Ms. Langley, do you wish to make an opening statement?
Sure. Granted, my client is not going to deny that he was in the store that day, and he's not going to deny that he left the store with a ratchet in the waistband of his pants. His explanation will be that he came into the store with that ratchet in his bag. It's something he uses at his job. He was in there shopping, and he saw it in his bag, and he got really, really nervous because he walked into a store carrying an item that he knows is sold by that store. He's a regular shopper there. He didn't know what to do, and so he thought, oh, wow, if I get caught with this, I'm going to get arrested. So he put it in his pants. It's an item that he will tell you he already owned. And of course, he was seen. This is an item that is a locked item that is normally, I believe the store will testify, carried up to the counter when it has to be purchased. So he will, I'll believe the court will find that there's at least reasonable doubt that he took the item that day and did not bring it into the store with him. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Langley. Ms. Eddy, you may call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor, I just need to.
Yeah, I always walk around with a ratchet in my pants. Yeah, that's what we got here. That's what we got. You know what? Let's just go. I don't know.
To go grab. The first
Mr.
witness will
Short.
be Mr.
Not
Brian
touching that.
Childers from Harbor Frank Schools.
And, Ms. Eddy, you may inquire.
Thank you. Can you please state your first and last name for the record?
My name is Brian Childers.
Can you spell that as well, please?
It's BrianChilders.
Thank you, Mr. Childers. And where do you work, sir?
I work at Harbor Freight in Lacey.
Okay, and is the store address 4520 Lacey Boulevard Southeast?
That is correct.
Okay, and what do you do there?
I am the sales manager. So I am in charge of making sure that we have good metrics throughout the day, throughout the year.
And what are just some of your general duties briefly?
So helping customers, I developing people, watching out for shoplifters, that sort of stuff.
Okay. And is the store that you work at, Harbor Freight Tools, located in the city of Lacey?
Yes,
And that's in Thurston County, the state of Washington?
yes.
And how long have you been employed there at Harbor Freight Tools?
Since the beginning of 2021.
And can you tell the court a little bit of what kind of security system that the store has in place?
So we have numerous cameras throughout the store, mostly in the front and at the emergency exits.
And specifically, can you tell us a little bit about the cameras at the front of the store?
So we have door jam cameras, as we call them. They are like on either side of the glass doors. We also have camera pointing down towards the entrance. Those are also some looking down upon the registers.
And the door, the door jam camera?
Yeah.
You said it was by the glass doors.
Mhm.
Can you describe where it is in relation to the door?
So if you can picture the door frame, and where the door hinges open, there's two doors, so that they hinge open. They're going to be sort of along the hinge side of the doors.
So if a customer comes in and opens the door, would that door then go and move in front of that camera?
It would, yes.
But since
It's glass,
it's
you
glass,
can
you
see
can
through
still
it.
see through it.
Yes.
And do the employees use any means to communicate with each other
We,
electronically while working?
yes, we have walkies. Everybody that works there wears a walkie throughout their shift.
And like a walkie-talkie you pull out and hold? or something else?
So we have earpieces that are attached to the walkie. So you have a little button on the earpiece that you can speak to each other.
And is there a general protocol for what employees are supposed to do if they think someone might be shoplifting?
Generally provide them customer service. If you see something dispossessed, like something put into a bag or an article of clothing or something, at that point, we might contact the police for a possible shoplift. Those primarily two things.
And do you have any items in your store that are locked up or secured?
Yes, quite a few items throughout the store.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit more about that? Where are those in the
So-
store and how are they secured?
Depending on the items, there's majority of them are going to have little red peg locks on them if they're peg items. If they're items that are not on pegs and we lock them up, we might put them in the cage or keep them in the stock room.
Okay, and can you indicate for us how big you said the peg lock is approximately how big?
It's pretty small, maybe an inch. They're pretty lightweight. They can be removed just by smacking them
And how are they affixed? So that we can
Uh,
understand how they work.
with a magnet. So just a strong magnet can remove them.
And is there any other way to get them off without a magnet?
Yeah, you just smack them and they come off.
So a person can remove the peg lock without a key,
Yes.
just by smacking it.
Yep.
And if a customer wants to purchase one of the items that are behind that or have a peg lock on them, what's the procedure in place?
So on those items, we're going to have little slips of paper It said, we call them take one slips. Basically you take that slip of paper and bring it up to the register or to somebody that's the employee that's on the floor, and they can get that item for you.
Okay, and once they get that item to the customer, do they give it directly to the customer, or where does that item go?
No, we don't like to give them directly to the customer, because the whole idea is that we're protecting the product. We take them up to the register.
And then how does the customer get it? They go through to checkout?
Yes, exactly.
I'd like to talk more about the events on July 31st of 2025. Were you working that day?
I was.
And did anything happen that morning around 10:55 a.m.?
Yes, there was a shoplifting event.
Okay, and how did that begin? What first happened that you noticed?
First thing I noticed was a gentleman in our Rachet aisle. He had a locked up icon item in his hands. So he had somehow gotten the item. I asked him if he was finding everything all right. We're told not to, accuse, customers of anything. So just let them hold on to it. From there, I sort of walked around the middle aisle that's kind of behind it, just kind of watching him behind the toolboxes.
And why were you watching? What was unusual about him having a rat?
Because he had a locked up item that somebody would have had to unlock for him.
And had you seen anyone unlock the item for him?
No, and I also asked over the walkie.
Okay, so you asked over the walkie, meaning like, so that your piece, you asked the other employees?
Yes.
And no one else indicated they had unlocked it?
They had not.
And is that why you continued to watch him?
Yes.
And what else did you see him do?
So I saw him fiddling with his clothes. So it looked like he might be concealing it. So I went and checked the cameras, and indeed you can see him putting it down his pants.
And do you recognize the man that you saw putting the ratchet down his pants as the defendant who's present in the courtroom here today?
Yes, I do.
And what did you do after you saw that?
I contacted the police, let them know that we had a possible shoplifting occurrence. And then from there, the police asked me to get a picture of the gentleman so that they would know who I was speaking of when he left the store.
And did you do that?
I did.
Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor.
You may.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as exhibits.
Yes. Yes. I won't cover things that are in my jurisdiction. No, I will not. And I'll tell you why. And I know I made this comment the other night, Ranger, and that's what you're commenting on with the Afro Main trial. But every time I've spoken to, let's just say Judge Slavin. Let's use him for an example here. When I go to him, like, hey, Judge, I just got an email from this court asking me to take this video down. Should I be worried about this? What can that court actually do? He always says absolutely nothing, that you're not in their jurisdiction. They're not going to spend the money to, one, figure out who you are, two, figure out where you are, three, send someone to go get you. Unless you do something crazy with one of your videos, no one's going to touch you. So, yeah, he's not the only person that's ever said that to me. So I stay away from anything in my direct area. The closest that I do is Licking County, which is 2.5 hours away. It still kind of makes me nervous. But yeah, that's exactly why you get to see this. Phil, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 5 new members. Phil, you are awesome. That is generous of you. Thank you. Also, Ranger, that's why I'm super nervous about going to courts anymore. I'm terrified when I walk into new courts. Yeah, I don't want people. I don't want judges to recognize me. Like I'm sitting there in front of them, and if they recognize me, that's not good. Unless they're okay with what I do, because yeah, I can get in trouble for it. There's definitely a gray line, depending on what side you're on. Most judges don't care. Some really do, though.
One and two. Mr. Childers, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 1. Can you please tell me what that is?
That is the gentleman that shoplifted that day, currently entering the store.
And is that a picture that you took to send to the police?
Yes, it's A picture I took of the footage from our camera system.
Okay, and is that, did you send,
Alex, there's a bunch of Hamilton County courts that stream. I see them almost every day, and I watch them from now and again. But or every once in a while I'll watch them, but I'll never cover them. Not touching that. No, they can just easily look up my name and figure out that, oh, he got a divorce through this court. We can find out all the information on this guy, where he lives. He's paying child support right now. So yeah, but Hamilton County does, they have a few courts that do stream.
that photo to one of the police officers?
I did.
And is that a fair depiction of,
Yeah. I will, the next time I see one on, I'm stuttering. I will send you the links on Discord the next time I see one on.
the monitor that you took the picture of?
Yes.
I'm going to show you now what's been marked as Exhibit 2. Can you tell me what that is, please?
That is the gentleman from behind. Was looking to get a sort of a shot of what he was wearing, and that I took and sent to the police.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate depiction of the monitor that you took a picture of?
Yes. Well, it's my camera, so yes.
It's your camera. Okay, all right. Your Honor, the city would move to admit Exhibits 1 and 2 into evidence.
Any objection, Ms. Langley?
No objection.
Okay, they'll be admitted. Thank you. You may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. And did the defendant have anything else on his person that you could see in those photographs, Mr. Childers?
Like product wise, or
That, from a to the back witness. Did he have a bag on him?
yes, he did.
Okay, all right. At any time, did you see him take anything out of the bag or put anything in the bag when you were observing him?
I did not.
And what else did the defendant do after you had sent the pictures to the police?
He walked around the store for a little bit before going up to the register with some hose clamps. He purchased those and then left the store.
I'm sorry, he purchased what? I didn't hear you.
Hose clamps.
Hose clamps. And you saw this through observing them on the monitor? How
I
did you see
believe
it?
at this point I was actually standing behind them near the registers.
And when he purchased the hose clamps, did he put it in the bag that he came with?
I do not remember.
And what, if anything, did he do with the ratchet when you saw him check out?
It seemed to remain within his pants.
So he didn't take it out and give it to the checker to scan.
He did not.
So did he pay for the ratchet before he left the store?
He did not.
And did your security system capture a video of the defendant putting the ratchet down his pants in the front of the store?
Yes, it did.
And did you provide a copy to my office?
Yes, I did.
The video footage that you provided to our office labeled HFT 50 Lacey shopless suspect 73125.
That is correct.
On Exhibit 3, the city of Lacey there are 5 video clips, Your Honor, and the city would move to admit and publish HFT 50 Lacey shopless suspect.
Ms. Langley?
No objection.
It'll be admitted. You can go ahead and play it.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to pause it just for a moment, and Mr. Childers, where on this screen are we going to be seeing the defendant?
Going to be on the far right side.
So over here.
Yes.
So it's you're right with your back to the judge.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So over
So,
in this.
yes, right where your hand is.
The aisle 7.
That's correct.
Pause it right there. And what did we just see right there?
We saw the shoplifter sticking the ratchet down his pants.
And I resume it, and paused it at 41 seconds.
Could you back that up a little bit
Yes.
so I can see it again?
And did some officers from the Lacey Police Department arrive after you called them?
Yes.
And did you see them contact the defendant when he left the store?
Yes.
And did the police return any items for you that they found on his person?
Yes, they did.
And what did they return?
The ratchet that was stuck down the pants.
And do you recall what the value of the ratchet was?
I believe that one is $59.99.
When they gave you the ratchet, did you scan it to print out a receipt for the officers?
Yeah, training receipt, yes.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at a copy of the receipt?
Sure.
This is how little I know about tools. I've got a ratchet set that I've used for the last, I don't know, 15 years. It's worked on everything I've needed a ratchet for. I think the entire set was $60. He stole one ratchet allegedly. Stole at this point it's still alleged. For $60. What kind of ratchet? Like I need to know what kind of ratchet this was. Like I'm confused. And yeah, I know it sucks that we can't see this. They have the TV to the side. We can't see it. I know. I fast forward all the dead time, so that's why it skips like that. But the prosecutor does a good job of letting us know what happened.
Okay, yes, at that time it appears that the ratchet was $44.99.
Thank you, Mr. Chambers. Those are my questions.
Ms. Langley, you may cross-examine.
Thank you. So, again, you work at the Lacey store?
Yes.
That's like a get the pictures I sent him and you have them working the same.
Well, what's
Irrelevance. Should we close it up?
oh, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't object.
Yes. Yes, sir.
There are some of them.
Locally, there's the one on Cooper Point in Olympia. There's also the Yelm store. I guess it's Yelm Highway.
And do they all carry essentially the same merchandise?
Yes.
I'm trying to understand a little bit better about this security system. How are this particular item, how is it secured in your store?
So it has multiple locations. So on aisle 7, there's these little red locks that hold them in place. We also have cages up by the register. You can kind of see it in the side of this video.
Here? Oh.
That is one of the places we store them.
And does that look like the cage that's in your store?
Yes.
And I'll now show you what's this point offered defense 1.
No objection.
And now I'll show you what's now been marked defense number 2 for identification. Is that the other type of security system?
Yes.
And is that how it looks in your store?
Yes.
Thank you. Offer number 2.
No objection.
So do you know?
Yeah, it's over a $50 tool. That's what this entire trial is about. Wait until you hear about the fake receipts and fake videos that the defense tries to put into play. That's coming up.
You saw my client with one of these items in the store. Is that what attracted your attention to him?
Yes.
So explain a little more.
So being a locked up item, we've had problems in the past with these items, even despite being locked, still being stolen. Because the locks are really easy to remove. So once I saw within his hands, it promoted me to keep an eye on him to make sure that he actually purchased the item.
So after he left the store, did you determine, was there a broken lock on one of these things?
We found a loose lock on the shelf. So that had been removed.
So that would had, you believe the lock, he had removed the lock.
I believe that to be the case, yes.
Um, and did you do any checks of the inventory to see if one of these was actually missing?
Yes.
And
There was one missing from the system, yes.
all right. Did and you said you didn't have any communication with him while he was in the store?
I asked him, I typically would ask, are you finding everything all right?
Mm-hmm.
Then like, have a good day. But beyond that,
And so where was the Ratchet at the time that you spoke to him?
aisle 7.
Hmm?
Aisle 7.
So where was it? Did he have it in his hand? Was
His
it
hand.
in his hand? So, but you said you didn't ask him about that item at the time?
I'm not allowed to.
Okay. And do you know, have you seen him in your store before? Is he a regular shopper there?
Yeah.
And wasn't he wearing one of your store's hats?
Yeah.
All right. No other questions?
Any redirect? Ms. Eddie?
Just Mr. Childers, so you indicated that on aisle 7, that one of the red locks was loose on the shelf.
Mhm.
You have to say yes or no.
Yes, yes.
So if someone had knocked the lock off, would they have put it back on?
Yes.
And would that cause it to then be loose as you saw it?
So if you were to knock the lock off and not replace it back on the peg, then it would just be on the shelf or on the ground or what have you.
But is a red lock that's been knocked off, can a person put it back on the shelf?
Yes.
And no further questions here.
Any recross, Ms. Langley?
Just briefly, how long did you observe my client in the vicinity of the place where you're saying this wrench came from?
How long was he standing there? So, at the time, it seemed like 3 to 5 minutes.
Nothing else.
Any may this witness be excused?
Your Honor, I would ask that he remain in case of
Okay.
redirect.
You can go, Mr. Sharp, you can take him outside. And then Ms. Eddie, you can call your next witness.
Okay. And we'll call Officer Aaron Stevens.
Put your hand down. You can sit down. Ms. Eddie, you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, can you please state and spell both your first and your last name for the record?
Aaron Stevens, AARON SCEPHENS,
Thank you. And where do you work, Officer Stevens?
Lacey Police Department.
And how long have you worked there now?
I got hired last January.
And what shift are you working these days?
I work swing shift.
Okay, so did you have to work last night until this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Well, we appreciate you coming in today, sir.
Thank you.
And do you tell us just briefly, what, if anything, did you do before joining the Lacey Police Department?
Before joining Lacey Police Department, I was in the Army. Before that, I was in high school.
Okay. And how long were you in the Army?
4 years.
And as a work, you work patrol
Yes, ma'am.
right now? Okay. And as a patrol officer with the Lacey Police Department, do you wear a body camera
Yes, ma'am.
when you're on patrol? And were you working on July 31st of 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you still on field training at that point?
Yes, ma'am. I was in phase 2 FTO.
Okay, and what is, explain for us what that means?
So FTO is what you do after you graduate basic law enforcement academy. So you have a senior officer who has gone to another school to be authorized to train other officers after they graduate the academy. So you're on the road conducting police investigations and such while being overseen by a superior officer.
And I'd like to talk a little bit more about the specifics on what happened July 31st of last summer. What happened around 11 o'clock on that day?
I received a call that there was a theft in progress at Harbor Freight on Lacey Boulevard.
Is that 4520 Lacey Boulevard Southeast?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and is that in the city of Lacey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in Thurston County, state of Washington?
Yes, ma'am.
And just generally, what was the report?
What was the report?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, so you got a report of shoplifting at Harbor Freights?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what other information were you given?
Yeah, so the manager called in, said that there was a male, approximately in his 20s, thin, wearing a dark hat, dark backpack, that he was in the store, roaming around the aisles, and had put a ratchet down his pants.
And did he send you any photographs of the suspect?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And if I may approach your honor,
You may.
and Officer Stevens, I'm showing you what's marked as Lacey's exhibits 1 and 2. Are those the photographs that the store manager sent you?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that Mr. Childers? Was that the manager you talked with?
Yes, ma'am.
And so what did you do then when you got to the store, when you got to Harbor Freight Tools?
So we got to the store, and me and a few other officers staged outside, waiting for the suspect to exit the store.
So essentially you were waiting for the man and they pictured in exhibits 1 and 2 to come out.
Yes, ma'am.
And did he?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what happened when he came out?
So he exited the store. I identified myself as a Lacey police officer and detained him in handcuffs.
And when you went to detain him, did he have anything in his hands?
He did. Yeah, he had an item from the store, some cash, and I believe a receipt.
And do you recognize the person that you detained that day as the defendant who's present in the courtroom here?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you later identify him?
Yes, as Patrick J. Harlan
And how did you identify him?
with his Washington State ID.
And did you read Mr. Harlan his Miranda rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did he understand them?
He did.
Was he willing to talk with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And was your contact with him recorded by your body camera?
Yes, ma'am.
Three. Have you seen this thumb drive before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And how do you know that?
I initialed it yesterday.
Okay. And did you get a chance to watch the video clips that are on exhibit 3?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Were they all fair and accurate recordings for your body camera footage from the day of July 31st of 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I would move to admit video clip 1 that's labeled as such on exhibit 3.
Ms. Langley?
I think this might be the one we can actually hear. That they play something that we can actually hear. Most of the stuff I just skipped right over if it was dead air though. But there is a, you know what? That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's go.
No objection.
Okay,
Permission to publish?
you may.
The rest of this point, I'm gonna read you rights, just so you're aware. You have the right to remain silent, anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right this time to talk to a lawyer, not be present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed representing you before questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions, or make any statements. You understand each of these rights as I've explained them to you? Yes.
I mean, he is in Washington. He might be a part of the Colin family. Boom. Let's go. No, yeah, no, I definitely do spoilers. Not on purpose, not intentionally. Sometimes they just slip. My mouth gets me in trouble. I think everyone that's been around me long enough knows that. I say things I probably shouldn't a lot of the times. Spoilers, yeah, that happens.
Have these rights of mine yours to talk to me now? What's that? Have these rights of mine yours to talk to me now? What do you want to talk about? Would you like to talk to me? Are you okay with talking to me? Yeah. Okay. So when you were in the store, did you take anything from it? Yes, I did. You did? Yeah. What'd you take? I took a ratchet. Okay. Where is that ratchet? It's in my waistband. It's in your waistband? Yeah. Are you with me reaching your waistband? It's right there. It's on my belly. Your belly?
All right, case closed, right? You guys just heard that. Do you know why I'm stopping you? Because I took a ratchet. Where's the ratchet? It's in my waistband. All right, and we're done. Guilty. Nope, we're not even halfway done.
And Officer Stevens, what item did we see you remove from the front of the defendant's waist in the video?
It's a ratchet wrench.
And was it still in the packaging?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And on there, I was a little bit muffled, but another officer asked him, did he have the ability to pay for it? And what was the defendant's answer?
No.
And did the defendant also have a bag on him when you detained him?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And was that bag ever searched?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And what items, if anything, were found to be in the bag?
There was a pressure gauge that was found in the bag.
And was it still in the packaging?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And anything else?
There was other receipts as well found inside.
And when you saw that there was a pressure gauge in his bag, what, if anything, did you do about that? Did you go to ask him about it?
Yes, I did.
And is that section of your video, your body camera, also on exhibit 3 as a video clip number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
The state would move to admit clip 2 on exhibit 3.
Ms. Langley,
No objection.
go ahead.
Where'd you get this? That's what I was telling you. I got it yesterday. You got it yesterday? Yeah. It's just in my bag. It's a bag I wear every day. It wasn't on the receipt. Did you get it from a different store? Or from a different place than the other one? What receipt? So you had a receipt on you that had the other item. Yeah, I got that today. I just bought it just now. Oh, okay. So you bought that just now. Yeah, that was in my bag yesterday. And you paid for this yesterday? Why you got receipt? Money in?
And Officer Stevens, besides the defendant telling you that he bought the air pressure gauge the day before, did he tell you anything else that he bought the day before?
No, ma'am.
Did he tell you that he bought the ratchet the day before?
No, ma'am.
And after you talked to the defendant in the car about this, did you do anything else as part of your investigation?
I tried to figure out if there was any proof if he had stolen that item as well, and I didn't find anything to prove that he did or didn't.
Okay, so what did you do with the air pressure gauge then?
I gave it to one of our CSOs to log it for safekeeping, along with a couple other of his items. back at the PD so he could pick it up.
His property items, yeah, on his person since he was being arrested.
Yeah, stuff that couldn't go with him to the jail.
And what did you do with the ratchets that you took from his pants?
I returned it to the manager.
And did you also go into, when you were talking with the manager, review the video from the store?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
I don't have any further questions for Officer Stevens.
Ms. Langley, you may cross-examine.
Thank you. Just want to be clear. So you're saying that he had 2 items on his person, both of which were still in the original store wrapping, or did he have more?
So total, he had 3 items on him. When he first exited the store, he had an item in his hand. Then he had the pressure gauge in his bag, and then the ratchet in his pants.
And excuse me, did you happen to check back with the store about whether or not he had just purchased the pressure gauge or the other items?
I asked about the pressure gauge. They didn't have any, like, didn't see him purchase it that day, but I didn't have any video of him stealing that pressure gauge.
So you had no reason to believe he had stolen the pressure gauge.
Correct.
And he did tell you that he had purchased the other item, the wrench, the day before?
No, he said he purchased the pressure gauge the day.
I have no other questions. Thank you.
Anything further, Ms. Eddy?
No, Your Honor.
You can go back and sit at council table with, actually, if you wouldn't mind handing me those. You can take the white thing with you and then those come back to me.
So
Thank you. And then you can go back and sit down. And Ms. Eddy,
The city would rest, Your Honor.
Ms. Langley,
Yep.
city's rested.
Can we take a
Do you have any witnesses?
yeah, can we take a very brief recess? My client wants to ask me something.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, we can be 5 minutes, I guess.
Hey, one of the 2 fade outs that actually happened. Yay! Fade out successful. I don't really have anything to add right now. We're just watching it. We're just going through, the motions right now. It gets really interesting. Yeah, here shortly. So I do appreciate you guys hanging around. It's fun right now with the ratchet in the pants, but it's a straightforward case. It's about to get interesting. It's not about to go down. It's not that kind of case, but it does get interesting.
Thank you. Good morning. Can you please state your name, spell your last name for the record?
Yes, Patrick J. Harlan, Harlan.
And Mr. Harlan, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
What do you do for a living?
I have my own business, handyman services,
Okay. What kind of handyman work do you do?
landscaping, construction, appliances, you name it,
Do you buy a lot of tools for your business?
tons.
Okay. What kind of tools do you buy?
Literally anything and everything. I have a very immense collection of tools.
And where do you shop for tools?
I used to shop at Harbor Freight quite a bit. Home Depot, Lowe's.
Is there a particular Harbor Freight store you normally shop at?
Normally, yeah, the Lacey one. It's just like a block away from my house, but sometimes the stores have different things.
So, on the day that you were arrested, can you tell me what happened in the store?
Yeah. I went in there to shop. I had noticed that I had a ratchet in my bag from the previous day that I had purchased
Okay, let me stop you there.
Yes.
So where did you purchase the ratchet that's in your bag?
at the Olympia store
Okay, and when did you purchase it?
the night before,
Um,
the night before the incident.
and it was still in your bag?
Yes.
What else was in your bag?
My wallet. That was about it.
Okay, so what, take me back again. You're in the store and what happened?
Well, I realized that I had the ratchet in my bag. And so I kind of panicked. What my thought process was that what I didn't want to happen was to go up to the register and go to get my wallet out and for them to see the ratchet in the bag and assume that I had stolen it. Being that I didn't have the receipt on me, I thought that it wouldn't look very good. So I proceeded to put it in my pants and hope that, you know, I could just make my purchase that day and go about my way.
Okay, and were you in the store for much longer?
No.
No. So when you first discovered it, you said it was in your bag?
Mhm.
And what prompted you to be looking in your bag right then?
I wanted to make sure I had my wallet on me.
And did you have other receipts in that bag?
No.
Now, the other item that the officer discussed, what was that? Pressure gauge.
Yeah, the air pressure gauge.
Okay, so was this a large item, a small item?
It's relatively small. Yeah, just about the size of a cupcake or so.
Okay, and that was still in its original box?
Yeah.
And where did you get that from?
At the Olympia store the day before.
Okay. So when you talked to so when you went outside the store, what happened?
I was welcomed by 5 or 6 uniformed officers. With the lead being the witness who testified today. They immediately pulled me to the side and read me my Miranda rights.
Okay, and you were willing to talk to them?
Yes.
And what do you recall telling them about the ratchet?
I recall, my recollection was that the officer asked me if there was anything on my person that I had purchased that day, or that I hadn't purchased that day. And I said yes. And I told him that, or he asked where it was, and I told him that it was in my waistband.
But what you're telling the court is that you did in fact purchase that item the day before.
Yes.
Now,
My receipt was in my vehicle.
Toya Elaine. I really hope that's how you pronounce that. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. Welcome to the family. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome.
but you didn't have an opportunity to get that?
Right.
Now you've just showed me this morning, a video that you claim you just discovered on your phone.
Yes.
And what does that video portray?
Objection, Your Honor. The defense did not provide any video to the city in advance. And I'd note that under discovery rule 4.7, I did email counsel requesting that counsel disclose any physical evidence they intended to use at trial. So I object to any discussion of evidence that was not provided.
Found it last night.
Yeah, you be quiet. Ms. Langley?
It was provided to me this morning.
I found it last night. I found this miraculous video last night that's going to prove my innocence. Okay. All right, guy. I do love the judge. You be quiet. Yeah, that's not how evidence works. Yeah.
I had no knowledge of it beforehand, and I've told the city that I just got it. So,
Okay. What is it?
well, what I understand it to be is my client. It's not even an intentional video in the store, making a purchase, in the other store making a purchase the day before. It's not. That's what it is.
It's what?
It's him in the other store the day before. He says the phone was in his pocket, and there's a video that he didn't realize was there. So that's what he has.
Hey, don't forget me. I said thank you too. I know my mods are awesome, but I said thank you too. Don't forget about me.
Provided me.
What does it indicate as being purchased?
I've
I'm
only,
asking you.
I've
not
only,
him.
I've only seen it once, and what is simply, I don't think it shows what's being purchased. It shows him making a transaction at the, no, that making this transaction at the store. It's not, I've seen it like quickly once, and it's not an intentionally taken video, so.
Purchasing a ratchet. I'm asking you, Ms. Langley.
I've seen it for one glimpse
Okay.
before walking in the door here. I believe it purports to show him purchasing a ratchet. I can let the city look at it and we can discuss it more before we go further, or not.
If I may supplement my argument, Your Honor, the defense has already provided a receipt that was purported to be from a purchase that the store manager has determined has been falsified. And so the city's concerned, it appears the defendant has already tried to alter physical evidence and is thus surprising us to be in the middle of the trial with something that has not previously been provided. So the city can't determine if it too has been falsified.
Yeah, Ms. Langley, I'm gonna. This falsified receipt, you said, when was that given to
Okay,
you?
so I'm going to object to discussion of things that haven't been offered in evidence that were part of pretrial discussions.
Okay, well, okay, then fine, I can grant both your objections, and we're not gonna talk about the video, we won't talk about the receipt. I mean, so, we'll do it that way then.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's objecting to you talking about something that wasn't given in discovery, and so, yeah,
Well,
so you can.
now my client looks like he has a question. No, okay.
Okay, so you can ask your next question and move on.
Okay, so I don't know where to go with this. What is it you're trying to say, Mr. Harlan?
Okay, so you need to ask a question, he needs to respond to it, you can't just put your witness
Mr.
up
Harlan,
there
so
and
do you,
say.
do you have
If you want
other?
to break and talk with him for a minute, I'll allow that. You can step outside and talk to him. I want to, I guess, complete the record on a ruling that I made earlier with regard to the video.
All right, so we just did a little skip there. We just jumped ahead a little bit. So while right before the judge makes his ruling, Phil, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. That is 10 from Phil tonight. Thank you so much, Phil. Welcome to the 5 new members. Thank you, Phil. And Bill, thanks a pant load, Colin. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. A shirt load, a ratchet load. I'm trying to think of anything else that. Yeah, I got nothing. Bill, thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
That apparently just surfaced here this morning. And again, I'm going to make a ruling that I'm going to grant the city's objection to reviewing or admitting that at this time. The rule, I'm not going to go through all the criminal rules, discovery rules, but any evidence that is disclosed needs to be, that you intend to use at trial needs to be disclosed. This isn't rebuttal evidence, and so which might be an exception to that. And this was alleged to have occurred back in July 31st, and now here we are in March, some 7 or 8 months later, and now we're just learning about this video for the first time during the middle of a trial. If this had come up and Ms. Langley wanted a continuance to set this over to review it, we could have done that before the trial, but once the trial starts, we can't just be bringing stuff in that the city hasn't seen or had no idea even existed before the trial already started. So I'm going to sustain the city's objection in that regard. And you can go back to if you were at the podium, or you can stay at council table and you can continue your examination.
So, I guess not much more to ask, Mr. Harlan. You maintain that you did purchase that the day before. At which store?
At Olympia.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Any cross-examination, Ms. Eddy?
Yes, Your Honor. So, sir, your name's Patrick John Harlan. Please answer out loud, please.
Yes, that's correct.
And you were born on June 2nd of 1991?
I was.
And you're not contesting that on July 31st of 2025, you went to Harbor Freight's tool located at 4520 Lacey Boulevard Southeast?
Right.
And that store is located in the city of Lacey
Yes,
and Thurston County, Washington.
yes,
And you admit that you stuck a ratchet down the front of your pants.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that you did not pay for the item before you walked out of the store.
I purchased it the night before.
So on July 31st of 2025, after stuffing it down your waistbands, you did not pay for it before you left the store that day.
That day, no.
And you were contacted by Lacey police officers when you left the store.
I was.
And when the officers asked you if you took anything from the store, you said, yes, I did.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't hear the question there.
The officers asked you, did you take anything from the store? And your answer was, yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, sir, if you don't remember, would it refresh your memory to watch the recording again?
No, ma'am. You just are, it sounds like a statement that you're making. I don't hear the question there.
I'm asking when the officer said, did you take anything from the store? Your answer was, yes, I did.
That's a statement. Are you asking a question, ma'am?
I'm asking if that was your statement. Yes, I did.
I did. I guess so. I guess so. Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, yeah, it is technically a statement, but don't do this on the stand. You chose to come up there. Don't be defiant on the stand. This you can't have it both ways. You can't go up there and tell your story and then all of a sudden act like you're smarter than the prosecutor. Answer the questions. You're gonna get yourself in trouble, man.
And when the officers,
I told my attorney earlier when she asked the question.
I didn't ask what you told your lawyer. I just trying to, you need to answer my questions, not tell me what you told someone else.
Okay.
So after you said, yes, I did, the officer asked you what you took, and you said, I took a ratchet.
Okay, are you asking a question, ma'am? You just told me what I said.
I'm asking if that's what you said. So did you say, I took a ratchet? I took a ratchet.
If the video says that I did, then I did.
Well, sir, since you don't seem to remember, I'll refresh your memory for me to play the video again.
Sure. I was very scatterbrained that day. I guess you could say there was 6 police
Sir, if you
officers
could just
standing.
please wait for me to show you the evidence. So, sir, when the police officer asked, did you take anything from the store? Your answer was, yes, I did.
Okay.
And you told the officers you did not have the ability to pay for that ratchet tape, didn't you?
I did not have the money on me that day, no.
And isn't it true, Mr. Harlan, that you have a prior felony conviction from theft in the second degree that occurred back in 2019?
That's true.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Langley, you may redirect.
You, tell me how you were feeling when you came out of the store and saw the officers.
Overwhelmed, to say the least. I had just made a purchase like any other day. I understand that I was trying to conceal something that I had purchased the night before, but I thought it was a little bit of overkill being surrounded by 6 officers.
It helps when I unmute my mic. The defense is he bought the wrench prior to this. He didn't steal it this day, even though the security footage clearly shows him he did. Well, I mean, we don't know. We couldn't see it, but that's what is being alleged. But he bought it a previous day. He somehow has a video and receipts of buying it previously. And the court isn't admitting that evidence because he just happened to find it last night. That's the defense.
And so what did you mean when the officer asked you, when the officer asked you, did you take anything from the store?
I don't know. I felt like watching it now, I feel like I was kind of led into that question, led into that answer. But I guess I didn't communicate what the situation was at the time. I didn't have a receipt on me, and I didn't think that an officer would believe me. So
And is it your statement right now that you purchased that item the day before?
absolutely,
And in
at
the store-
7:33 p.m.
I overtalked. Where did you purchase it?
at the West Side store, the Olympia Harbor Freight.
And it was in your bag when you entered the Lacey store?
It was from the night before, yes.
No other questions?
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
You can go back and sit down with your attorney, counsel table. Do you have any additional witnesses, Ms. Langley?
No, Your Honor.
I'll hear argument from, I'm going to hear from the city first. Ms. Langley, I'll give you a chance for argument, and then I'll allow the city to have a little argument. Is
You
that-
have the other items put on first before we get to arguments.
Okay,
The city would like to recall
Sorry.
Mr. Brian Childers.
I should have asked that first, sorry.
Yep. Yep.
Take a seat, sir. You've previously been sworn. You're still under oath. And Ms. Eddy?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Childers, if a person shops at Harbor Freight Tools, do you have any sort of reward program or anything where that allows your company to track their purchases?
We ask for their phone number and name at the time of purchase. This allows us to have a copy of their transaction if they need to return something. That way they don't have to hold on to the receipt. Also, we have a membership. That's also how we would keep track of their membership.
And to your knowledge, does the defendant Patrick Carlin have a membership number with you, with your company?
Yes.
And in preparation for trial, did you have cause to pull up all his purchase history for the past approximate 10 months?
Yes.
Did you review his purchases for the past 10 months with your company?
Yes.
Anywhere there, did you see that he had purchased this icon ratchet in his purchase history?
On 9/2/25.
So after this crime occurred.
Yes.
So no purchases prior to July 31st of 2026.
No.
And did you specifically look at your records for the date of July 30th of 2025?
Yes.
And with the records that you access, are they only for your store or for more stores than that?
For all of our stores.
So if he had bought a ratchet at the Olympia store, would that have shown on your records?
Yes.
And in your reviewing your records, when you saw that he bought a ratchet in September, do you recall what store that was?
That was purchased in the Olympia store.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Langley?
Thank you. Yeah, so this program, do you actually get a reward for it, or what's the purpose of having the rewards program?
So it's not a rewards program. So we have your phone number and customer information. One, to hold a copy of your receipt if you need to bring something back. A lot of people don't remember. We have a limit of 90 days to return something. So it's also easier for us to see if it's been beyond that 90 days. But we do also have a membership. You get lower prices on certain items if you're a member. Mr. Harlan, I think, still is a member. So in order to have that membership, you have to have a phone number and a name in the system.
So can I make a purchase in the store without giving you my phone number and name?
Yes.
Would anyone question me if I did that?
We would try to get you to provide a phone number,
Mhm.
but you'd still be able to make a purchase if you decided not to.
Okay, but so it's certainly possible that someone can purchase something and you don't have any record of it.
Yes.
Um, um, okay. So you're stating now that your records show that he was in your store purchasing things in September.
So the one that we referenced was the Olympia store.
Um, no other questions?
Did you say no other questions?
Yeah, no other questions.
Ms. Eddie, anything further?
Just a brief redirect. Mr. Childers, did your review of store records show that the defendant in fact made any purchases on July 30th of 2025?
July, I believe so.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at a copy of the records you provided to the city of Lacey? Your Honor, if I may approach.
You may.
Yes, so on July 30th, the purchase of goatskin leather work gloves.
Was made by Mr. Harlan's phone number.
Yes.
But nothing else that day
Nothing else.
from Mr. Harlan. Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing else additional from the city of Lacey.
Ms. Langley?
Okay, I have no other questions for this witness. Would like to briefly recall Mr. Harlan.
Okay. May this witness be excused or maybe go ahead and step back?
I would ask that he remain in the hallway, please,
Sure.
Your Honor. Thank you.
And
Thank you,
then
Mr. Childers.
Mr. Harlan could, when he clears the witness stand, you can come up. Mr. Sharp, go ahead and take him out. Come on up. And then you've previously been sworn. You're still under oath. Ms. Langley?
Just briefly, after the date of this arrest, were you in that store making any other purchases?
I was not. I was directed by the judge at my arraignment that I was not to return to Harbor Freight.
That store or all stores? What was your understanding?
My understanding was just Harbor Freight tools.
And do you recall, now there's been evidence that you purchased gloves the day before. Do you recall that?
I purchase gloves frequently, so I'm not going to say that I didn't because I did all the time. So.
And is it possible that you've been in a store more than once in the course of a day?
Oh yes, sometimes 5 or 6 times.
Thank you. Nothing else.
Any questions in response to that, Ms. Eddy?
No, Your Honor.
You can go back and sit with your attorney.
All right. Is there any question right now of what happened? I am failing to see the defense side. I mean, I understand what their defense is. It's just not winning. Not even the slightest bit. I still love the fact that he tried to fake evidence. This is awesome. We don't know that he tried to fake it. We're just assuming he did, but come on, you just found it last night. Yeah, all right, man. You just figured out how to use AI last night. All right, man. We got you. We've seen it before.
Anything further from the city?
No, Your Honor, the city would rest.
Ms. Langley?
Nothing.
Okay. You'd already rested. I was just wondering if there was any rebuttal evidence. And so now we'll hear argument from you, and then I'll hear argument from Ms. Lacy, and then give you a rebuttal argument. So go ahead, Ms. Eddy.
Thank you. Your Honor, actions speak louder than words. And in this case, you don't have to rely on one or the other to prove to you that the defendant committed the crime of theft on July 31st of 2025. You have both. When he hid a 44.99 ratchet in his pants and walked out of the store without paying for it. The elements that the city of Lacey has to prove under the Lacey Municipal Code 92850 is that on or about July 31st, 2025, the defendant, Patrick Colin, wrongfully obtained or exerted unauthorized control of the property of another, and that he did so with the intent to deprive the other person of the property, and that this happened in Lacey at Thurston County, Washington. Most of these elements are not being contested today. What is that the defendant wrongfully obtained or exerted unauthorized control of the property of another. And the definition of wrongfully obtained or exerted unauthorized control is defined in Lacey Municipal Code as to take property or services of another. The court has today both the actions and words of the defendant. The actions on that day, or as you have him concealing the ratchet down the front of his shirt. Now, you've heard the testimony that they were locked, but they are easily stricken off by, as you heard, by the store manager, Mr. Childers. Now, the defendant would have you believe that he brought the item in with him and had it in his bag and didn't want them to think he was stealing it. So he took it out and he put it in his pants rather than just removing his wallet. And then they would have never had any cause to know what was in his bag. And I would submit the court that that is just not a credible argument, and that the defendant, given his history of having a crime of dishonesty, is simply not to be believed. You also have what the statements that the defendant made to the officer. When the officer asked him if he took anything from the store, he said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "I took a ratchet." He told the officer, and it was in the waistband, poking him in the belly. The defendant was free with his words to tell the officer that the air pressure gauge he had purchased the day before, if his story was true that he purchased the ratchets the day before, he would have told them the same thing. Clearly, he is not credible, and the city has met its burden of proof, and we ask that you find the defendant guilty.
Ms. Langley?
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't think it's quite as strange as maybe the city is trying to paint that he would do what he did. He is a regular customer in that store. It was
Yeah, I agree. She didn't really need to say anything else. She did a good job. She questioned the witnesses as good as she could have, even though the defendant was, I don't know, kind of being confrontational on the stand. But she did a good job.
established through the city's evidence that he's a regular customer in that store. He's testified that for his job, he's in and out there sometimes a number of times a day picking up items. We also know that he did have in his bag items that he had previously purchased, and it was accepted and established that those were previously purchased items. So now all we're talking about is this one ratchet. Sure, it's possible that the city's case is true, that he walked in, that he broke a lock, that he took the ratchet, he put it in his pants. But really, what do we have? Do we have any pictures of a broken lock? Do we have any evidence? No, what we're being told is that there's a security system, that there's items that are purchased that are valuable enough and easy enough to take, that they have to be unlocked by the store and brought up to the register to purchase. And then we're simultaneously being told that these locks, hey, they're really easy to break. They snap right off. This one was loose. So somebody or someone may have, I don't know, taken it off. We don't have video of that. We don't have any evidence that, we don't have a picture of a broken lock. We just have the statement that, well, it was loose. So he might have removed it. He denies that. He's in and out of that store all the time. He had other merchandise. And although it seems like maybe not what everyone would do, I think it's that you can imagine that a person's in a store and they're like, oh, here's the thing I bought yesterday. I don't have the receipt. Oh, so I'll put it here. Maybe not what everyone would do, but also not beyond belief. I would propose that that's another reasonable explanation of what happened. He was asked about what he took from the store, and he said he took the ratchet, but there was no further discussion of whether he paid for it, he didn't pay for it. He wasn't asked about that. And again, as he says, he was faced with a large number of police and was pretty intimidated. I'm going to ask the court to find that although the city's version of events could have occurred, it's also plausible that my client's version of events could have occurred. That's enough for reasonable doubt, and I would ask the court to find him therefore not guilty. Thank you.
And Ms. Eddy, I'll give you the final word.
Just briefly, Your Honor, again, the reason the defendant's story is not credible because you heard the testimony from the store manager that that the defendant's member number was used on July 30th to purchase a pair of work gloves. But what person would use their phone number to buy gloves and also not buy a ratchet, which is presumably a much higher value item? Again, because it's simply not true. No purchases were made at either the Lacey store or the Olympia store, according to Mr. Childers and his business records. And so again, the city has met its burden today, and we ask that you find the defendant guilty.
So as I said before, this comes before the court on a charge of theft. In order to prevail, the city needs to show that the defendant, Mr. Harlan, on or about July 31st, 2025, with the intent to deprive another of property or services wrongfully obtained or exerted unauthorized control over the property or services another or the value thereof. Ms. Langley, I'm going to come back to this, but there's a version proposed by the city, Ms. Langley, and on behalf of Mr. Harlan and Mr. Harlan himself, when he testified, propose an alternative version of what took place on that day. And Ms. Langley says, well, since that's kind of a plausible alternative.
All right. We're on to the ruling. I don't really think there's anyone questioning what actually happened here. This guy, I mean, I don't even know if I should I don't know who I should say, hey, good job on the defense. I know the defense attorney tried. She had very little to work with. I don't know. I like to give props to all three sides, the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense. But yeah, there's not really anything to say about the defense. I mean, good on them to stay professional. I got nothing. I got nothing on this. Why are we in trial? This is a giant waste of time. Not for us. This is fun for me. Not for the court though. Take the plea deal. I'm sure he was offered a plea to something.
Then there's reasonable doubt. But just because there's some sort of plausible alternative doesn't mean the city hasn't proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. And in this case, Ms. Langley also asked, what do we really have, or what do we have? And frankly, Mr. Harlan, the strongest evidence that I'm going to attach to this case are your words when you converse with the police officer following, and he asked you straight out, did you take anything from the store? He said, yes, I did. What did you take? It's a ratchet. It's in my pants. Here it is. And the version that you have said, well, I purchased this the day before. You did have things you purchased the day before, apparently, that pressure gauge. You didn't mention that. I said, well, yeah, I took a pressure gauge too, and that was from the day, and also, but the officer, I think, was pretty clear in the context of what was happening. It's like, what did you take from the store? You were in handcuffs, so you knew that they suspected you of something. He said, yeah, I took that. To your credit, you were upfront and honest about it, saying, yeah, I took the ratchet, and it's in my pants. And so you were asked if you have money to pay for it. No, you didn't. And again, there was no mention at that time either. Well, no, I didn't have any money to pay for it because I paid for it yesterday. Nothing like that was said. And there is some corroborating evidence of this. The representative from the store talked about the security system and the lock, and makes me question their security system, but apparently those locks are fairly easily removed. They did find a loose one on the shelf near where this was stored. They also conducted an inventory check. Apparently one was missing, which would account for the one that was taken out of the store when you left it. And so which leads me to a finding that the city did prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that a theft occurred, and so I will enter a finding of guilty. And I want to talk briefly also about that film. Apparently, there was a video that Ms. Langley just saw about the first time this morning where a ratchet was purchased. We've now heard that a ratchet was purchased in the Olympia store in September. So that video may be accurate, but there was no evidence that a ratchet was purchased. You know, it could have been. Ms. Langley appropriately pointed out that you can purchase things from Harbor Freight without giving a phone number, but there was no indication that a ratchet was purchased by you on the 30th of July, but it was later that summer or into early fall in September, for what that's worth. But I've said before, I'll enter a finding of guilty, and then we're going to proceed to sentencing in a minute. But before that, you have been found guilty as a result of a trial. This is just like a jury trial. You have the right to appeal. You have 30 days to perfect your appeal. You need to file and serve your appeal on the opposing party, the city of Lacey, within 30 days of today's date. If you don't maintain that timeline, then your right to appeal is lost. There's also other avenues. If you can't afford an attorney on appeal, one will be appointed for you. And you can speak with Ms. Langley and the clerk as to how to perfect your filing of appeal. And there are other avenues of post-conviction relief, including motion for true trial, stay judgment. There are time limits involved there as well. Usually 12 months, but if you don't comply with all of those time limits, you would lose those as well. So we're going to proceed with sentencing. I'm going to hear from the city first, and then I'll hear from Ms. Langley.
Yes, Your Honor. I guess briefly before I make my recommendation, I'd just like to touch briefly on the defendant's criminal history. A review of JABS indicates that in 2019, he was convicted of assault in the 3rd degree, theft in the 2nd degree, unlawful imprisonment. I might note he also has 4 convictions for driving while license suspended. Again, fairly old. In 2013, he was convicted of operating a vehicle without ignition interlock device, and in 2011, he was convicted of a DUI. I think the city's recommendation today is 364 days jail with 359 days suspended. So that would be 5 days to serve, 2 years probation with the standard conditions of no law violations, and to stay away from Harbor Freight Tools in Lacey.
Ms. Langley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think normally this is a, if we count that prior felony, which is a completely different situation, but still, this would be a second theft type offense. Usually the penalty in the city of Lacey is credit for time served. I think he has 2 days credit, and that's what I would ask the court to him.
Mr. Harlan, you have the right to address the court if you would like. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. Before you do, city agree with 2 days credit for time served?
Your Honor, I thought it was 1 day. I thought he was arrested on the 31st, and then on August 1st, he was released from his own recognizance.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Harlan. Anything you'd like to say at this time?
Yes. I asked the court to not impose the 5 days that the city requests at this time. I was up late last night, racking my brain over the proposed notion by the city that they wanted to add more jail time if I exercised my right to due process. And so I stumbled upon a video of said event, and I wish I would have gotten it sooner. I wish I could show it to you, Judge. I think that it would clear a lot of things up, and it's very, very clear what happened. And it's a shame that I can't defend myself, I guess, because of the untimeliness of me discovering it. I have not been in trouble in quite some time. The incident that the city refers to, if the case notes were read, there would be a better understanding. She obviously highlighted the charges, but the facts of the case were a lot deeper. I was stalked. I was extortioned. And
I'm going to object. I really don't think this is
I'm going to
relevant.
overrule your objection. He's allowed to, you had mentioned his criminal history. And so I'm going to allow him to respond. So you can continue.
Okay.
I'm not putting any limits on what you tell me.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. And to top it all off, I was a victim of an attempted rape. And I took accountability for my part in that mess. The other party didn't, even though they did it to me and 11 other people and their families. But I take accountability when I mess up, and I show up to court, not on Zoom. I show up in person because I feel like that's how you take accountability for the things that you've done or situations that you're in. And
You know how you don't take accountability? By fabricating evidence the night before trial. You're talking about accountability. Yo, dude. I don't think you realize you lost all accountability with us. At least us as a community, court watchers. I don't know what the judge is thinking. But what are you talking about right now? Seriously.
I would do the same here if what the city has portrayed was true. So I do ask that no additional jail time is imposed today, Your Honor, while I can.
He just listed off everything, all of his feelings about being arrested. Everything he just said was all of his feelings about just the day that he was arrested. And so apparently maybe while he spent his 2 days in jail, that something may have happened. I don't know. No idea. But yeah, he's playing the victim now. That's exactly what he's doing.
Put together a defense for an appeal. Thank you, Judge.
Sure. So, a couple of things there. We've all done this from time to time, walk into a store with previous purchase items. And I know that when that's happened to me, is I just either do one of two things, either tell the person I'm walking, when someone's there, I say, hey, look, I already bought this. I'm walking in here with this. I'm just telling you that now. Or just turn around, go back into the car and take your bag. I mean, if you just left that in, if what you say is true, if they left that in your bag, just never taken it out, just turn around and walked out and thrown your bag in the car or grabbed your wallet out of the bag and walked back in, we wouldn't even be here. Ms. Langley has said that's a plausible explanation for you to stick it down your pants. To me, that's really kind of a stretch. I got to be upfront with you about that. But with regard to the offense in this case, again, I don't know anything about what you said about that theft. That was from 6 years ago. It was a long time ago. It is true, other than some driving things, you've been out of trouble for quite some time. The last conviction goes back to 2019. There is one prior theft. This is like only the second theft since then. Sounds like there was a lot going on with that. I tend to agree with your attorney that in a case like this and a theft like this, you wouldn't be looking at any additional jail time other than what you've already served. So I'm not going to impose any. It'll be, again, in the absence of that prior, you might be looking at a deferred sentence or something like that. But give the prior, then obviously there's not going to be a deferred sentence. And it's important to remember that we're talking about, much I know you disagree with it, a shoplift of about $40 to $50. Based on that, I'll sentence you as follows. It'll be 364 days in jail with 363 suspended, credit for 1 day served. $43 in court costs, don't have any criminal law violations, stay out of Harbor Freight and Lacey. And that'll be in place for the next 2 years. And that'll be it. We'll print you a copy of the judgment and sentence, and then that'll be it.
That's it. All of that. An hour and a half for a $50 tool that he got his sentence suspended, which I mean he has a record, but yeah, all right, over a $50 tool, he's not going to get thrown in jail for that. But no one believes you, man. No one believes you did not steal that tool. At least I don't. I'm not going to speak for all of you. Maybe you believe the story. I'm going to stop assuming that I speak for the entire community. I absolutely don't. But that is it. We just heard the verdict. He's guilty. Shocker. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I did. I thought this was fun. All right, well, that's the end of the show tonight. Who we're gonna rate? Hold on. We rated Katie Z last night. We'll rate KFAR tonight. All right. Not KFAR. Lone Wolf. Sorry, Lone Wolf. Wait, did I rate Lone Wolf last night? I don't know who I rated last night. I have no idea. I don't remember what happened yesterday. All these days run together. But I got to set up to raid Lone Wolf. Go enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, or enjoy your weekend. The rest of it just started. Go have fun. Don't do anything dumb. You don't want to end up on my channel. I will see you guys not tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is date night. I'll see you Sunday evening, and that starts birthday week. I will be posting my schedule for the week probably Sunday evening, if not Monday evening, to tell you guys what's going on. Most of you know Heather's coming into town Thursday, so yeah, I'm gonna be pretty much taking a week off. Not a full week off. I'm gonna be streaming probably twice, if not 3 times. I'll still be posting videos, but it's pretty much gonna be a week off. That's gonna be starting on Thursday evening of next week. So, yay! Not gonna lie, I need it. I need a break from court. So I'm excited about it. That's all I got though. Thank you for the super chats, the gifted memberships, membership milestones. Phil, you are awesome. Mods, you are awesome. Have a great rest of your evening. Go tell Lone Wolf I said hello. See you guys Sunday night. Till I stand by.
You should have that. And all the exhibits that have been submitted, like all the video things, those need to be given to the clerk to complete the record. Good luck going forward, Mr. Harlan.
Thank you, Judge.